Yeah, I've been doing a lot of thinking as I've been playing, and I've got a lot of thoughts, and I'm not haven't. It's not that I haven't been having a fun time. Um, I think the thing that is happening is I was trying to describe it to Leopard Broom, fellow streamer. I was chatting with him while I was um, hanging out in his stream earlier today, and the best way I can describe it. Hold on, one sec. There we go. The best way I can describe it is like if you've ever been in a room with a lot of people who are all having a good time, and you can hear this noise happening somewhere in the room. You can't pinpoint where it is, and nobody else seems to have noticed it, and nobody else seems bothered by it. But it is like, and everything else is fine. Everything else is great, but like, there's this like incessant buzzing in the room. You can't concentrate, and you can't really like fully let yourself get lost in the moment, and no one seems to know what you're talking about, and you can't find where the source of it is, and then you leave and you feel sort of weird. That's what playing this game feels like, especially considering a lot of the people that I consider my peers. Do I think it's streaming related? It may very well be, and I think I may need to spend some time, possibly after I've gotten over. Look at this. I mean, who could hate this game? Yeah, maybe I need to take a step back from it and try again off stream. But yeah, it just felt like this little scratching in my head, and I was trying to like list off the things in the game that that were causing me to not have as much fun as I would have liked to have had. And there's no one thing that really did it, but it was like a combination of lots of little things. And playing it alongside Hollow Knight has really has been really illuminating. It's helped give me like a sort of a vocabulary for what my issues are. So maybe I'll talk about that a little bit later as we go, as the issues come up. But tonight, I don't want to focus too much on the bad. I want to enjoy my possibly last moments with this game, but who knows? I don't know. Yeah, I definitely intend to give my thoughts. I think fundamentally, I do like what this game does and what this series does. I think it's really cool and interesting. It's obviously captivated so many people, and like not just gamers, but the entire industry. This game has you know done what few games do, and like fundamentally changed video game design, the way that people talk about things. And I'm glad I got stuck into it, so that I was able to better understand what people mean when they compare things to Dark Souls. Because I did sort of know. But I didn't really, you don't know till you get knee deep in the stuff, or ankle deep, as the case may be. For Killian, my beautiful avatar. But yeah, I think a big thing was that the so in my studies of game design, I learned this term, compulsion loop, and the way I understand it is in a game, the cycle from beginning playing a section to like ending it and then beginning it again is the compulsion loop. So if you can think about like taking Dark Souls for example, the point from resurrecting at a shrine or at a bonfire to the point where you die and then resurrect and then get back there again, like that loop over and over again, the compulsion loop, I think is really what doesn't work for me. I'm not taken by it. I don't like the feeling of going through the same areas multiple times. It's not a nice feeling to me. And I know you're supposed to sort of... it's supposed to make you suffer a little bit, right? Like, it's meant to make death feel way more impactful than it might in another game. And playing Hollow Knight, I found that the compulsion loop was way more agreeable to me. It had the same fundamental characteristics, you know, you travel through an area, you're a little lost, you die, you have to go back and find your body, you learn the space better, you become more intimately familiar with it, you die less, but there's always like a punishment for losing all of your health. And you've got like limited resources, and the everything is trying to kill you. Like those things are all true about both games. But with Hollow Knight, I found that just the very fact that it was slightly less distance to travel between rest spots and where I was typically dying, and rest spots were coming so frequently. Apparently there's a bonfire down here as well that I didn't know about, but I'm gonna have to look for it somewhere around here. But yeah, I think just in this game, if there was either if I was either dying less or traveling less after dying, I think everything would feel different and way nicer to me. They do have different levels of that in different FromSoft games. Yeah, I think that's definitely a formula like they've tweaked. Like even the difference between this and when we played Bloodborne together, for instance, like I found Bloodborne to be way more confronting, and the traveling to from point to point to be way harder than it is even in this game. So yeah, I can fully see that, and I don't think it's like, I don't know. I do want to try and voice my thoughts a little bit better through this stream once I've... Oh. Alright. I promise you, I was pressing forward on the joystick when I pressed circle. I can't do it again. I can't do it again. That was my last try. I'm just gonna chill out at this shrine for a minute. I think I need a big, good, long rest. And I want to end the stream talking about what I like about Dark Souls, because I've already made it very clear what I don't like. I don't like having to retread the same very difficult spaces in order to achieve the very difficult tasks at the end of the path. Paco Island, welcome. Why do people play this game? Why do people play this game? I think people play this game because I think for years, possibly decades, gamers had it too easy. I think for a period from about 93 to 2007 or whenever Demon Souls came out, I think there was a good decade and a bit where, outside of a few fringe, like anomalies, games were pretty accessible and that's not a bad thing. But I think there was something lost from the early days of video games. Because playing this game does really remind me of things like playing like Legend of Zelda on the NES, where like same thing, like you had like a limited amount of chances to do like some very hard dungeons, and if you died, you got placed really far away, and you had to travel all the way back, and every single time you had to fight the same enemies on each screen as you went back. So there's like historical precedent for games like this to exist. And I think From Software intuitively picked up on like a gap in the market that they filled, like really expertly. The game is really fun to play. It's really compelling combat. It's really interesting mechanics. The weapons and the stats and the gear all have like a lot of mechanical depth. There's a lot of love put into the design. There's a lot of fun put into the design as well. Like I was saying before, like in spite of the difficulty of parts of it and the meanness of other parts of it, there's like a playfulness in its design that's like very infectious. It's a game that makes me laugh as often as it makes me seethe. I'll probably be thinking about this game for a while. I'll probably be thinking about what it's done to me, how it's made me feel, because I have a lot of patience, and this game really tested it, and it's nice to be tested. It's nice to see what your limits are, and I guess that's, ultimately, to answer the question, why do people play this game? I think that's why. I think they play it to test their limits. And then once you've been tested and once you've passed, once you've played this game, you can return to it with the knowledge you gained from the first time, and you can play it a bit better and a bit differently. And you can learn it. You can learn the space and the enemies and the weapons, and you can you can adjust things and do things in different orders. It's cool. It's really cool, but it's not for me. At least not as a streaming game. And I dare say, if I was 10 years old playing this game, I'd probably love it. I'd probably be obsessed with it, because I think it would really tickle the same parts of me that the games I played on the NES did when I played those when I was even younger than 10. So yeah.